What is going on, everyone? Colonel Cottonbelt here. Jason, for those who don't know my real name. Here with the layout update. Been a while since I've done one, and I finally got to work on the layout some. Had a lot of life going on the last few months. So just to kind of fill you in on everything that I've done here, I can kind of explain where we were at on things as far as personal life goes. And so yeah, so the reason why I have not done a layout update in a while, and if you want to fast forward this section, feel free to go ahead. Back in February, I believe that was the last time I did an update, or that could have been January. Back in March, me and my wife separated, and then of course in June we got things figured out and she moved back in. So I was kind of tied up taking care of things and, you know, trying to run the house on my own there for a few months, and it just really took away from me being able to do this. And I don't hold anything against her on that. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just happy that she's back home, you know, because she does mean the world to me. So that's the main thing. But let's talk about the Sawmill. It looks probably a little different since the last time you saw it, unless you watched the last live stream and then you actually got to watch me do all of this. Sawmill, it's getting closer to being completed. Still got a few more touches and things I need to do, like I need to add some tufts, things like that. So we got kind of like a grassy area, not as well traveled on. You know, the tracks, they are buried. I do got to get those cleaned out. So I will end up using this guy here. This is a little sanding stick, and I will use this to kind of help clean up the rail. So that way we can roll cars in here. Not necessarily sure a locomotive will run in it, but if we block the train correctly, we won't have to have a locomotive in here. So as long as he's got enough cars, so that way he stops right here, because what I'll end up doing is ballasting that. So as long as he can stop right here, he'll be fine. So that's where I'm at with the Sawmill. Got a few cars down. Ended up rubbing the weathering off of that elbow there. It broke off and I had to re-glue it. So yeah, got that on there for sure. Installed an extra section of the Woodland Scenics barbed wire fence. I'm going to keep running it down just on the one side, the Sawmill side. I'm not going to worry about it on this farmer field side. But I've got one more of these. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think I'm going to have to go get me one more. Because back here, I do have it all the way up to the grade crossing, but I don't have it on this side of the grade crossing. And I'm probably going to have the fence cross over like right in here. So that way it looks like you can see kind of where the railroad kind of more or less, well, I might bring it up to the points. I might bring it all the way up to the points. So we'll see. It's just going to be one of those things I'm just going to have to kind of sit down and play with. I want to give a special thanks to Joe Rader, Black Rock Central, for giving me a $10 super chat on the last live stream where we were working on this back here. And also on that live stream, I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to Container Man. That's Roy. He gifted 5 channel memberships, and I believe it was the conductor level, so that's the $5 a month memberships. So 5 lucky people got one of those from Container Man. So if you're one of the lucky 5, make sure that you give Roy a huge thanks on that. So other than that, haven't even got to the back of the culvert yet, or the creek, in other words. But yes, for those new, you can see the pipe all the way through. And let's see if I can hold my camera still. I'm gonna reach. You can see my finger back there closing the hole. So I do gotta add a little bit of water effects here. I do have some water effects, just haven't done it yet. But this is pretty much everything I've gotten done as far as scenery goes on the layout. I did paint, weather some ties over there, and we will get to this. I mean, got the grain elevator, so the everything in the back except for that building. So it would be the silos back there and the dryer. So it'd be the small silo right above the dryer right there. That was gifted to me by a local friend in my NMRA division. And then this building here was an actual welder's kit that I purchased, and my friend John Goforth assembled it, painted it, did that one, did the little office, and then did the extra storage building back there. So I still got quite a bit to do on that scene here. I'm gonna have to get some like privacy fencing to go up against the backdrop, because the way we're gonna have to make it look like now is this little road is gonna go behind this building, and then it just kind of goes off and you don't see it, and then I'll have privacy fencing all the way over here, and I'm gonna put in a parking lot for blue ball lanes. So that's going to be the next thing on that. There is the completed scale track. So once I get some ballasting and stuff done in here, that's going to look really, really good. Ended up getting not one, but two mobile trailers. Actually, the guy's estate that I've been selling had this one here, and I wanted another one to go with it. And so I actually found this one here off of eBay. And y'all, these things are made out of plaster, but really nicely done. I thought this one was pretty cool. It came with the propane tanks on the back side. So we're gonna have a small little trailer park on the opposite end of the grain elevator, and I might actually move these back a little bit more so that way the road looks like it's going to the grain elevator. So that's something that's pretty cool. And then that's kind of really it as far as scenery goes. But I can talk about a future project. I did get one of these in. So these are LED marker lights from Tomar. And so I'm gonna wire this up to that guy right there, and we're gonna put some lanterns up in the back corner on both sides, so that way we got some marker lanterns on our caboose. And no, this is not a drover's caboose. For all of those out there saying, oh, that's such a nice drover's caboose. No, it is a passenger caboose. In my era, 1958, the Cotton Belt on their locals were mixed, both passenger and freight. This is where their passengers rode, because they did away with passenger trains, except for one passenger train's all they had left during that time. Okay, moving on. Now that kind of wraps up everything on the top level. So what we're going to do is we are going to pivot down to the bottom level where it's still a little dark. I'm going to have to install some lights up underneath, and I've got the lights, so I don't need any suggestions on that. But what we have here, this is going to be part of the Pine Bluff yard. I got storage and stuff going on there. These are all kits that I still have to build, by the way. Well, most of them. But starting here, we'll work around that way. We've got our double mainline track here in the front, and then this single track here will be our one arrival track, and then we will have 7 outbound classification tracks, and they actually represent different outgoing trains. So on my timetable, I have 6 manifest freights, 3 north, 3 south, but the 3 souths are all hot shots, so they were never sorted at the yard. they might pick up a couple of like reefers from the ice dock, but they were never, they had some pickups, but they never had drop-offs, so they never got sorted. So the first 3 tracks represents the 3 northbounds that do come in the yard, do get broken up. And then we have a local that goes north, a local that goes south, and then this is going to be the Missouri Pacific track here, and then this one's going to be assigned to the Ashley Drew Northern. Alright, and then this last track is going to be, it's kind of like a pocket track per se. That's going to be cars that are actually moved down, further down the yard, beyond the classification. So this is a smaller classification yard, and as far as car sorting goes, I am going to attempt to put in a hump. So I think I might be able to get it to work. But you can see that some of the tracks here, I've just got buildings set up there just out of the way temporarily, but the tracks will literally go all the way up to the backdrop over there. And I will have to cut that in too. But if we keep panning on down, you can see that I did get some switches lined out. And so I call this guy the little Mamba Jamba, because the big Mamba Jamba is up in Brinkley. But it's literally just a number 6 crossover with a number 5 turnout and another number 6 crossover, all built as one piece. And the only thing that's different between this one and the big Mamba Jamba was between these 2 points here was a double diamond where a track was going straight across. And then I built these 2 number 5 turnouts as a just together to where I could get them squished in just a little bit. That just allows me to bring my ladder a little bit this way, even if it's by 3 ties. 3 ties is quite a bit of space when you're talking HO scale. And then I'll just start building off a standard ladder. Then the last track will actually have a turnout that will allow it to go straight. And then over here I'll have a turnout, a track to parallel the ladder, which will feed the ice stock. And I do have an extension kit, and John's going to want to work on that next. So that's going to be a fun project for him. And we're even going to make it to where there is another track on the back side of it. So I'm hoping to be able to get 4 40-foot reefers on both sides. So it'll be 8 cars. And then eventually the back track that kind of goes behind everything will make its way to this big mess over here, and there'll be a car shops over in the corner of that mess. One of the tracks that I'm wanting to attempt is I want to build one of these. And so this is called a lap switch. It's not a 3-way, it is a lap switch. And so you have a straight track here, and you have your first, left-handed switch that goes off, and it's at a bigger radius. So this 32-inch radius is actually rated as a number 6. But before you get to the first frog, which is right here, you have another set of points going to another switch, and it could be the same, it could be another number 32. This one I'm doing a 26-inch, so that would be like a number 5. And so that's called a lap switch, where these 2 switches, this number 5 is actually overlapping that number 6 switch. And so that is something that I want to attempt, and I will be attempting that probably soon, either after the Central Arkansas Train Show which is August 22nd, August 23rd in Conway, Arkansas. If you're close by, I highly encourage you to come. And the only reason why I'm saying after the train show is because I am a vendor, and I am trying to get ready for the train show. If I do get fully ready before the train show, then I will start on this build. Now, one of the things I am going to tell you about this build is it's going to be for members only. Some of the other builds I will do for the public, but this one is going to be a special build, so it is going to be for members only. It does not matter what level that you decide to do, but when I build this, it will be members only access. Okay, continuing on. I ended up getting me a couple of UTP fascia panels because I thought with my little wireless antenna, it's got 2 jacks there, I thought I could plug a throttle in it and make it work. No, that does not happen. It will make extra antennas work, but you cannot use a throttle behind the antenna. So that kind of stinks, but putting that in will allow me to relocate my antenna to a different part of the layout, because I do have a couple of throttles here, and these are not the wireless types. So I would like to be able to use those. As far as placement goes, I'll probably end up buying some more of those UTPs, but I'm thinking wherever my switch panels are on the bottom level is where I'm probably going to put those. I'm probably not going to put any on the top. So got my business car there, got a combine. So this is another Broadway limited car that I'm going to be looking at doing, but that one will be olive green. It'd be like SP olive green, which is very similar to Pullman green. So yeah, and that's pretty much what I've gotten done on the layout. So for me, it doesn't really feel like I've done a lot, but I know I have. It just doesn't feel that way. But you know, also in the meantime, we had the group between me, Steve Childers, Robert Flying Crow, and I'll link all these guys' channels down in the comments. JD from Grandpa Rails, C&EI John, and of course our favorite knucklehead Jac Jac. We're all at the house, and then we got to do some op sessions. We got to go tour a couple of hobby shops. And so, yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. Oh, I just realized something I forgot to show you. Okay. So, you remember the signage from before? Well, it ended right here. And I'm going to have to probably put some strip lumber, like not HO scale strip lumber, but like actual like 1x2s on the bottom. So, because these are not wanting to gap up. But I got me a few more railroad signs. I got space for one more. So Sparky, if you're watching, you should be happy I got you a Conrail sign in here. And then, not sure who all the MKD fans are. I know Grandpa Rails is a Rio Grande fan. And I know I got some more signs somewhere. I just gotta find them. But I thought, put my Golden Spike Award here. And then as I'm earning certificates from my NMRA, I'm just going to start lining them up down here. So that way one of the first things you come and see is my different certificates that I have been awarded. So, and right now I am in the process of working on several. So, probably the easiest one for me to get done is the painting and ballasting the 50 linear feet of track, and then I'll have everything I need for one more certificate. Once I get all the scenery finished off in that area, come get it judged. If I meet the points, that'll get me another certificate. So, but some of the other ones is going to take a little bit more work. So, other than that, that's really all I have as far as this edition of the layout update goes. So yeah, if you want to see more of what I'm doing, and like I said, I still got more stuff to do in here, you might consider subscribing and filling in the bell, so that way you'll be notified when I decide to add some more static grass. And then if you like the scenery, give it a thumbs up. That'll let me know that you approve that I'm actually doing some good work here on the layout. So that is actually the best way you can support my channel, is just thumbing it up. And it doesn't cost you a thing. Just a click of a mouse, or if you're watching on TV, a few clicks of the remote. So other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. So y'all be safe out there. I will see y'all next time. Happy railroading.